We got to address it. Vince McMahon had so much makeup on, he looked like one of the Twilight Zone characters where you start pounding on his, in House of Wax, pounding on his face and it's going to crack. And for some reason, his eyebrows resembled Mark Leonard in the episode where he played Spock's father in Star Trek.
Uncle Leo on Seinfeld.
Uncle Leo on Seinfeld, but if Uncle Leo was from the planet Vulcan.
Did you see what Jeremy Bagley tweeted out?
No, I didn't.
I don't like to speak ill of the dead, but it looks like The Undertaker's last act in WWE was the taxidermy Vince.
Oh, my God. And I mean, he's smaller and he was being gracious, Vince, but he's aged. It wasn't a commanding performance like the days of old where he commanded your attention and he commanded the ring and you could tell he had full, control of everybody and everything in his palm of his hand, from the cadence of his voice to the way that, it ain't there anymore, is it? He looks like Vince Sr.
No, he looks worse than Vince Sr. Vince Sr. was younger when he passed away.
But I was about to say, Vince looks now like Vince Sr. looked when he was in his mid-50s. So, I mean, Vince has definitely taken much better care of himself and genetics and whatever the fuck else, but it's finally happening eventually.
He looked really bad, and the makeup was just bizarre looking at his face, and I'd focus on a different thing, like, okay, his eyebrows, what the hell's going on there? And then, is he wearing lipstick? Or is it everything around his lips that make his lips look like, he looked really bizarre. His hair dye, just everything. And his voice is obviously shot. It's been a slow thing that we've seen happen over the years, but at this point, his voice is gone. And I hate to say it, but I keep thinking this is the guy running the creative show now there. We all think of Vince McMahon. If you don't see him, you think of one thing. But when you see him and you see him like this and he's a shriveled up old man, it didn't have the impact that I think he wanted it to have.
I wish Vince would get more rest. I really do.
Did you see the bags under his eyes? I've never noticed it before, but the makeup made it really pop out, especially when he turned to the side. Massive bags under his eyes.
That's what I'm afraid. I don't know. I hadn't been around him in ages on a regular and personal basis, but I'm afraid he's still trying to keep the same kind of schedule as he did 20 years ago, now that he's in his mid 70s. And I wish he'd just rest and relax every once in a while. It made me feel bad.